We have at least a couple of banks here, offshore banks, that are in that situation. I don't necessarily want to call their names publicly. So that has actually literally reduced the issue of de-risking, has reduced our offshore sector to nothing. It wasn't particularly big. We may have had up to about $2 billion in assets. I believe it's probably just over $1 billion. And the fate of those banks now hang in the balance. And chances are, because they're not onshore and regulated by decent Caribbean central bank that has a little more respect than the domestic or national regulators, those banks may not survive. That is the reality of the offshore sector at this point. Again, it is because, for the most part, of the issue of de-risking, in which they cannot get corresponding banking relations. And if you can't get corresponding banking relations, you cannot move money, you cannot receive money. Therefore, your bank cannot. And I tell the people, look, the issue there with global, this is already in the public domain. Global big problem, our biggest problem, is that they could move money. And then when you have a situation in a bank in which people are taking out money systematically and you can't bring in deposits, you know what will happen there. You get to a stage where you can't pay. And then when you can't pay, you undermine the integrity of the bank, and you would probably end up with a run. Now, interestingly, Global is now looking at a bail-in proposal. So we're hoping that will work, in which depositors will come together and convert some of their deposits into equity. So that will help to strengthen the balance sheet, and hopefully, that this will work. So I know that they are making an attempt to try and reorganize that bank. So we'll see what happens.